Shalom Akim, all praise, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Honors to you brethren out there who continue to labor in his work in all true faith and in sincerity. So I just want to go into a lesson, dealing with reflecting on oneself, all right? And the fact that you are your biggest enemy in this truth. And it's something that the apostle Gabar, all right, went into, which is a true statement, all right? If you approach this truth in a certain manner, you probably was, doing the work, uploading videos, and you drew back for whatever reason, or, you became slothful. There's no one else to blame but yourself, man. All right? You can't blame the scoffers and scorners or, your family, your old lady, your kids, your job. All right? It all goes back to you. And when you go into that word reflections, it pretty much means to ponder upon, all right, think upon, or consider, you know? And that's what you do when you see a reflection of yourself, all right? When you look in the mirror, you pretty much considering yourself, all right? And the best example is like a woman, all right? When a woman is in the mirror, and we all know, all right, a woman, man, it take her a long time to get ready or whatever. Why? Because she's thinking or considering herself, all right? Whether she needs to make any adjustments, touch up her makeup, or lipstick, or whatever they do, all right? And if you want to take any advice or a tip from a woman, that's the one thing you can take from a woman, man. They make sure they ready, all right, by examining themselves, man. And that's what you got to do spiritually in this truth, all right? So this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates? Yeah, that's right, all right? You got to check yourself out, all right? Because, if you finna go to a dinner or a date, you're going out on the town or whatever, you're going to make sure you're ready, man, all right? You're going to examine yourself. You're going to make sure your pants and your shirt match, your hair tight, all right? Your shoes. Well, you got to do that spiritually because when Yahweh Shah come back, he's coming back for those who have made themselves ready, man. And the only person can make sure they ready is they self, which makes you your own worst enemy in this truth, man. All right? You get, if you in the spirit, that's why the scriptures say, he with a contrite heart, all right, this man the Lord will look to, all right? And the Lord said he will not despise a contrite spirit, man, and a broken spirit. Because when you examine yourself and you look yourself in the mirror, right, you pretty much, kind of get down on yourself because we all know that we have fallen short of the glory of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. All right? And like I said, the example of a woman, when a woman get in the mirror, and usually we know with a woman, man, they never satisfied with themselves, all right? They might ask you how I look, all right? Do this look nice? I mean, they real, detail. They pay attention to detail when it comes to they looks, all right? But it starts in the mirror, all right? That reflection, man. When they looking in the mirror or whoever, all right? Even with a man, if you just jump up and you look in the mirror or just a quick second and just run out the house, you can have all type of crust in your eye, all right, around your mouth. You got to make sure you're ready before you step out, all right? And that takes what? Reflecting on yourself, man. Looking in the mirror, all right, at yourself. You your biggest enemy, man. You got to make those adjustments in the spirit, all right? Now, this is the book of get the book of Revelation, chapter 19. All right. This is Revelation, chapter 19, and verse 7. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. Yeah. All right. See, spiritually, we Yahweh Shai's woman, man. And if you want to present yourself to Yahweh Shai, you gotta think like how a woman think, man. You know, along the level of getting yourself ready. You know, take notes from a woman, because a woman, like I said before, she makes sure before she step out, she get herself together, man. She thoroughly examine herself. Whether she got to touch up here or touch up there, make an adjustment here, make an adjustment there. And that's the spirit you got to be in, man. You got to be watching yourself, because if you reflecting on yourself, then that makes it easier for you to take rebuke from someone else. All right? If you hard on yourself, can't nobody else be no more hard on you than on yourself, man. All right? And we are those virgins. We the hopeful elect, right? So we got to present ourselves to the King, man. We can't just step to him looking any kind of way. And the way that you make sure you're ready is to reflect on yourself, man. All right? Matter of fact, I want to look at this word ready, you know? Just see what it says.
Strong's G 2090, Hetoimazo.
Yeah, it says to make ready, prepare. To make the necessary preparations, get everything ready. Yeah, you see? And how do you do that? By examining yourself, man. If you're about to go to a wedding, you want to make sure your cufflinks straight, your shoes shined up, all right, your pants, you know, everything airtight, you know. And what's the method of doing that? By examining yourself, man, checking yourself out. You in the mirror, all right? And if you ain't ready, then whose fault is it? You. If you look at yourself in the mirror and your shit, then you know you supposed to have your suit custom and ready, and then you put your shit on and your pants too big. Whose fault is that? That's you, man. All right? It's a drawn from the Oriental custom of sending on before kings on their journeys persons to level the roads and make them passable. Yeah. To prepare the minds of men to give the Messiah a fit reception and a secure blessing. Yeah, so, you know, pretty much it says, you know, to make ready, prepare, all right? To make the necessary preparations, get everything ready, all right? And that's the one thing you can take from a woman, because a woman is diligent in that, man, all right? And that's how you should be spiritually, because we are Yahweh Shai's spiritual woman, man. So you got to make sure you present yourself in a fashion fit for the King, man. Least he's gonna reject you, all right? Because that's the nature of a king, all right? He choose what woman he want, man. He ain't gonna compromise, all right? So it's up to that virgin, or you know, whoever is presented to him, to make sure she's ready, man. When you go back into the ancient world, you know, the kings will have their potential wives to goddamn soak in oils and shit like that for 6 months, man. Up to a year in some cases. All right? So how much more Yahweh Shai? All right? But the way that you do that is to reflect on yourself. Just like a woman see her reflection in the mirror, then you got to take that same approach, but on a spiritual level. All right? So I hope this was an edifying lesson to the Akim. Till the next time I say shalom.